Hello everyone, my name is Gaila. I'm going to be uploading, I guess this is my first official YouTube video. I did some in like 8th grade for a science project, but besides that, I'm going to show you guys how I work 2 jobs. So I don't necessarily have a lot of time in the morning to really put on a full face of makeup. If I do, a lot of times, 90% of the time I don't even put makeup on. But this is, I guess, my fast routine. I have all my products set up here. So we're gonna get started. I apologize if I lift up my arms. It's quarantine time. I get everything waxed on my body, and yeah, it's like currently like day 35 for me. So, and quarantine, and I had 2 weeks before that was when I got waxed. So it's been a minute since I've gotten waxed and my hair's starting to grow back, and so if you see anything, don't be grossed out. I'm not around anybody. My legs are really bad, but let's get started. I keep saying let's get started. This is kind of how I do my morning routine. I'm gonna do my hair, I'm gonna do my makeup. This is not hair that I woke up with. I have brushed it. I brush it with a wet brush, and I usually put in a little bit of water to get the dryness out. This is currently day like 5 or 6 of my hair, so it's not super great looking. It's starting to get a little greasy up here. You can see the shine, but I actually really love my hair, and I put a lot of effort into it, and I do masks weekly on it, and it's just starting to dry out a little bit. So first things first, I add a little water before I start anything, just to kind of rehydrate the hair a little bit. We'll give it a little more bounce, especially here. You can see it's already, and by the time I drive to work and stuff like that, it dries out. And then I do a little bit of this. It's a 10 leave-in product, just to kind of add a little bit of nice smell to it. And my hair has a lot of volume towards the front, so I like to kind of take a little bit of that volume out in the back by putting in a little hairband while I do my makeup. And it just kind of gives it a nice little like boop in the front, and makes it not as kinky curly. And then to get the hair completely out of my way, I clip it back. I have a lot of hair, so a lot of times the clips ends up letting it loose anyway, but we're gonna let that dry. First thing I do, I've already done my skincare routine, like I said, put moisturizer on and all that. I take this Tarte Pout Prep Lip Exfoliant, and it's also got a little bit of a creamy product in it, and I exfoliate my lips because I get dry when I sleep. I sleep with my mouth open a lot, and I just lose a lot of my moisture at night. Next thing, I use my Urban Decay makeup setting spray. It's really old, please don't judge me. The first thing I do is I don't use a lot of product. I like to accentuate my facial structure. So I use NARS Sheer Glow foundation in medium 2. And it's probably a little darker than it should be, because this is when I used to be a lifeguard and I tan very easily. I'm a portion Native American, so I have very fair skin, but I tan incredibly well. So this is from when I was kind of a little tanner. That's why we put it on. Very sheer. But I like this product because it's got a red undertone to it, and I have as you can see, just red features. So I've already put moisture in my sponge here, and very sheerly I'm going to apply the foundation to my skin. I only take very little, just to kind of just even out my skin tone. I guess, wait, I do have a little bit of a blemish here. So I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape and light. This is also old. You can probably hear my cat in the background. She likes to screw with a bunch of stuff. I'm going to actually just you can see here I have a scar. I probably in September I was going out to my car. I work as a poker dealer and I was walking out to my car and I was tired because I work night shift, and it was like 1 a.m. 2 a.m. I got off early, and completely was just not paying attention, and I thought I couldn't find my keys, and I slammed my car door into my head and have a cute little scar to prove it. So I'm gonna actually blend these in. Of course, you know, this is taking longer for me because I'm talking. So I'm going in and putting that super light sheer foundation just to cover up a lot of unevenness. Going up to the like bag here on my eye. And now I'm gonna finish with the forehead. Next thing, I take my concealer, Tarte Tape Shape again. So what I do is I put a dab. I don't put a lot. There's also a lot of product with this. So I only put like this much right here, and then I put 2 here, and then 2 little dots here. Shit. Damn it. I actually usually color correct before, because I just have a little bit of bags. So I have just an Ulta Beauty color correct, and I usually dab this under my eye. I just take my fingers, dab around this area. Should have done it before I put on my concealer. I'm a little bummed that I didn't do that. They'll blend, whatever. Just here and here. And I guess you don't necessarily need to put the color correct because this is a yellow undertoned eye concealer. I like to do it, just kind of evens it out again. Let me finish putting the concealer on. Now, because I don't have a lot of foundation on, I'm going to go in, because there's not as much moisture as there typically would be with like a full face of foundation. I'm gonna just go in and even out the area here. Again, I'm only doing this to enhance my facial features. I'm not doing this to conceal much. I'm just brightening and evening the skin tone. I'm also not naked. by the way. I have something on. Back to it. I also usually like to add a little bit of concealer at the top here. I really don't like to put very much, just enough, and then a little bit on the tip of my nose. Okay, next thing. I'm just going to put on my favorite bronzer, Tarte Hotel Heiress, and I'm going to take this Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I'm going to, just underneath the bone here, I'm going to put the bronzer. I'm going to go in kind of a 3 shape on both sides. I'm not going to put a lot, but this is powder. Oh. Now we're gonna blend. I'm also trying to go for a more natural look, and I'm kind of trying to go for the dewy look. That's why I don't just for me, I guess. I put a little bit in the corners here of my nose, just kind of blend it out a little bit. And then I put some just underneath this area here. And I'm done with that. Now, I take just above that, I have California by Benefit, excuse me. And I'm just gonna take it right kind of like on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm going to slightly come up right above the bronzer, and then I'm gonna put a little bit, I like being a little pinker, so I mean I also have my natural blush. I have very rosy cheeks, so I'm just trying to accentuate again those rosy cheeks. I'm also taking my angled brush from e.l.f. Okay, now I'm pretty much done with my face. I do face first. A lot of people don't, and then I do my makeup after, just because I don't like putting on. Oh, last thing, e.l.f. Total Face Palette. I'm gonna just go on with that right there. It's like really pretty shimmery with my hands, and I'm going to boop. Did it even do anything? That's the real question. Doesn't even look like it did anything. That's fine. gonna put a little bit. Okay. Now, I like to work with the products that I already have on my face for my color, just to kind of continue with that natural, like, facial glow. I'm actually going to go back in with, after I take my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. To get this down, I have gotten this down to a science, really, when I'm actually, like, going to work. The way that you can really reduce the amount of time is by having a little, like, not having a lot of products to work with. I'm going to actually go back in with my bronzer, just to kind of bring those colors together with my, my defining creased brush, 304 Real Techniques. I'm just gonna go in and I'm going to go into my crease and blend. Now I'm gonna go with this Eco Tools little mini, like, bitty brush, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of that blush color on my lower lash. And then I'm going to bring them together. Sometimes I don't even put lower lash color on. Damn it, I forgot my mascara. I'll be right back. So, wait, let me just continue and just really get that nice little, bring it down on the little bits. And then I usually go in with, like, a layer. I don't do anything to my eyebrows. I have really dark eyebrows. Now I go back in with my CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. I'm in my boyfriend's room as well, so he doesn't have a lot of cute stuff in his room. And I don't even put a primer on. I forgot to curl my lashes, so this has been not a great tutorial. Last thing I do is I don't put any lip color on. I don't want to, since I work 2 jobs, I literally usually just go from one to the other. I like to use just my favorite peppermint chapstick and just use my natural pink. And then I let my hair down. Still a little wet, but it's fine. Yeah, I honestly have lost count of what day it is for my hair. I think it's 5 or 6, or could be 6 and 7. Not sure. And then voila. That is my supposed to be about 15 minute face routine, but because my boyfriend's texting me, but because I was talking and didn't have all my ducks in a row, I did take twice as long. This is gonna be edited down, but it took me about 30 minutes while I was talking. But when you have this down, which I do, this usually takes me about 15 minutes. And it's easy to reapply, and I usually take my makeup bag with me if I have makeup on. I don't usually ever wear much makeup. I like my skin to be really healthy, and it really does have an effect. I usually break out pretty fast. It doesn't matter, it could be brand new makeup, it could be, 10-month-old makeup. I break out pretty fast after I use makeup, so I like to kind of not have as much makeup. And so out of breath because I've been talking. I don't necessarily talk this much, but also here's my hair. So just adding a little bit moisture to it and helps redefine the curls, and bam bam. Let me get a